So I've got three stories today. I'm going to talk about Ariel Helwani's response to Jamal Hill and to Chael Sonnen and I guess to everybody that's been making videos using headlines like exposed. We'll go over that just a small bit. Going to talk a little bit about Israel Adesanya and his decline. The downfall is definitely real. We see that he's out of the game a very short amount of time and he's already coming out with some really bizarre and insane comments that only project himself to be this brilliant, unbeatable star. And I guess that's what you got to do when you're at the bottom of the barrel, right? And we're going to have a little chat about Dricus Du Plessis sticking it to all the haters out there, including Israel Adesanya's coach, including Khamzat Chimaev, and I see a lot of people online are talking about that he was robbed of his title shot, but they were very silent 2 weeks beforehand when he was stealing the title shot from Dricus Du Plessis. That's an interesting little one. Three little short stories before I get into them. If you could hit subscribe, like, share, all that sort of stuff, I really appreciate it. So Ariel is one of them guys who likes to spin lie after lie, likes to have everything his own way, kind of directing conversations and really not holding his hands up and taking responsibility for anything. I don't know, I could be wrong. Has he ever put up his hands and said, I was in the wrong there, I shouldn't have said that, I shouldn't have projected that sort of story when it wasn't true? I already saw him coping about the fact that he got all the upcoming fights wrong, and I joked about it in the other video. I was like, yeah, as soon as Ariel came out with this breaking news, this scoop that he thought he had, Dana just pulled the plug on it. I was kind of joking about it. I guess Ariel believes it to be true. He believes that Ali Abdelaziz and Dana White, as soon as Ariel broke the story, went and changed up the entire fight schedule just to stick it to him and make him look stupid. When you're inside your own head like these dudes are, you think that everything revolves around you. So Dana White, Ali Abdelaziz, Chael Sonnen, Jamal Hill, all the YouTubers that are out there that can see in plain sight that you're telling lies and manipulating people, call you out for it. And in your mind, you become the victim. Very, very typical victim consciousness. You kick into it automatically. It is what it is. And just to clarify, because I'm not going to spend too much time on Ariel, just to clarify, out of all the people that I just named out and all the situations that have occurred this week with Ariel and this fighter and this promoter and this YouTuber, he hasn't been in the wrong once. He is 100% correct, and we'll understand why and where the motivation and the confidence to be this right comes from Ariel when we listen to this little clip.
Tired of all the bullshit. I'm tired of all the new kids on the block thinking that they know what's up, thinking that, you know, that they can expose the truth. Motherfuckers, I've been doing a show about MMA since 2001, since Syracuse University. Again, I say the line a lot, but literally since you guys were in elementary school, and some of you weren't even born, quite literally in your father's nutsack. I've been doing a show on MMA since 2001, Syracuse University, Shine Auditorium. If you don't think I love this sport and have devoted everything to it with all my heart and soul, if that's not clear to you at this point, and if it's also not clear to you that I'm not going anywhere, that I'm not stopping now, I don't know what else I could do to prove that point.
I'm going to pause it there because before this one, he went off on another rant about how I'm not going anywhere. I'm absolutely going to be here for the foreseeable future. You can't break me. You can't make me leave. You can't make me quit. All this type of victim behavior. And I don't see the correlation between Jamal Hill, Chael Sonnen, and a couple of YouTubers pointing out what they perceive to be right and pointing out your hypocrisy. I don't see how that relates or transforms into a narrative that all these people want you gone. Like, gone where? Well, show us the YouTube video where this person said, wouldn't it be great if Ariel was just gone? Let's see the ex-UFC fighter or the current UFC fighter saying, this video's purpose is to get rid of Ariel Helwani. That's not what any of this is about. As I said, I'm going to use the word victim consciousness over and over again. That's basically what you have. People that feel hurt, their feelings get hurt, and they have to use the ad hominem attack on them, where they attack the person and not the argument. That's what that means. Ariel is king at doing it. He throws shade at Jamal Hill. You're going to be sitting on the sideline. You're trying to promote your YouTube. It's a small channel and I'm going to let you have the footage. I'm not going to hit you with a copyright strike. That's almost like a threat from Ariel, right? I'm the victim, but look how nice I am to everybody. If you look back at the beefs and the interactions that he's had with people over the years, it fundamentally always comes down to him holding up his hand saying, I didn't do anything wrong. It was you. That's what Ariel does. And here he's painting a narrative to his fans, and nobody is disputing the fact that he's been in the game a very long time, that he busts his ass on this podcast and interviewing people. It's what he does. Some people are allowed to ask questions in terms of your motivation and the tactics that you use to get to where you are? Are we not allowed to question people that have risen to the top of any spectrum? Is that not allowed, right? Because if that's not allowed, then, we're talking about communism, totalitarianism. That's kind of what we're talking about. If you can have your show, you can have beefs with everyone, you can have arguments back and forth with everyone, but nobody is allowed to call you out on it. And nobody is allowed to say, you know what, Ariel, I think you might be telling a lie there. And what happens when they do that? You hold up your hands and say that they're trying to end me and they want me gone. It ain't that, bro. It ain't that.
I am not going anywhere. You're praying for the downfall. It ain't happening. I just want you to know it is not happening. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not stopping to do this show. And I know that there's other things and other forces at work here, but I hope you all get it through your thick fucking skulls. This guy with the big nose, this Jew, he ain't going anywhere. So please come to those terms and accept them and move on.
Interesting end to that segment, and it kind of leads me to believe that this is what was instigating the entire segment. So all the legitimate conversations that ex-fighters, YouTubers, and current fighters are having with you and your propaganda and gaslighting, that's not really it, because there's a bigger thing at play about my nose. Ariel, what you need to do is stay off Reddit, stay off Twitter, stay off the YouTube comment section, because you're clearly not able to differentiate between retarded, disgusting people that are online, they're everywhere, they attack everybody, and people that actually have a legitimate gripe with the way you do your business. That's where we are with it. Stop playing the victim, maybe hold up your hands and own up to your own mistakes sometimes. Everybody makes them, man. Everybody makes them. No one's trying to end your show. No one's trying to end your career. People just want the truth, even if it's only 20% of the time coming from someone like you. That's basically it. Okay, so we'll jump over here to this story and I'll get through these ones nice and quick. This is just a quick story of copium and I found it kind of entertaining, to be honest. Israel Adesanya says middleweights can get on their effing knees and thank me for Alex Pereira going up to 205. And I read that and I was like, okay, what does that mean? What exactly does that mean? So I flicked down through it and I read the actual quote. And it says, middleweights can get on their fucking knees and thank me because I got this man out of there. If not, you would have to deal with him over and over and over again, all of you. I doubt any of you would want to fucking fight this guy. I did 4 times, but I got it done just 1. You could literally read through this comment, breeze over it real quick and think, okay, that doesn't mean anything. This is just a quick old statement. No. It's not that at all. Izzy is in a position right now where he's sidelined indefinitely because he says he's not going to come back for a long time, and the cope is starting to kick in. He thinks that if he didn't beat Alex Pereira with that weird overhand right that kind of skinned his forehead and we all just fall down, cool. If he didn't do that, then all the middleweights would be under pressure from Alex Pereira. I don't like to say overrated fighters. I don't like to say statements like that, and I don't like to talk out of place. I think Alex Pereira, 1, he's a funny guy. I like what he's doing recently. He's a funny guy. I think 2, he's a decent fighter. He's got a super heavy left hand. We saw that with Strickland. It took his head off with that left hand. We saw that with Adesanya, especially in the first UFC fight, where he pucked him all over the place. I called foul on that early stoppage. I think it would have been good for everyone to have seen Israel KO'd, completely out cold, because he was talking so much smack before, during, and after that fight. You know, like he still didn't even believe he lost that fight. So that dude, he's known for copium. What we have here is him saying that if it wasn't for me being the best ever at middleweight, you'd have to put up with Alex Pereira. What if Alex Pereira comes up against a wrestler, someone good? Not Jan Blachowicz, someone with a little bit more energy. What if he comes up against a Dricus Du Plessis? What happens there? Does he beat Dricus Du Plessis with one big left hand and Dricus is on the ground shaking his head going, oh my god, I wish that Adesanya had done me a favour by beating him out of the division 3 or 4 years ago. This is all hypothetical mental gymnastics from Adesanya. So, I mean, the headline says it all. Adesanya is in a position now where he's not in this division anymore. He's out. He's on the sideline. But he still wants people to get on their knees for him. So we understand that, right? He wants people to be on their knees thanking him, even though, you know, he just got pucked out of it by Sean Strickland. I thought it was an interesting little story. I thought it was an interesting little cope. It'll fly under the radar. People will hear it. It might seep into their mind and they might bring it up on a podcast, but not in a critical way where you'd hear them say something along the lines of, isn't it strange behaviour from Adesanya the way he thinks that the whole middleweight division owe him something? That they should all be on their knees thanking him because Alex Pereira, the unbeatable Pereira, is gone? I don't think so. I don't think that any of that is true, and I don't think anyone will call it out. So I thought that was an interesting story, and I have one more little Dricus Du Plessis story. I like this one. I like this one. Dricus Du Plessis taunts Israel Adesanya and team following UFC title shot announcement. Dricus Du Plessis still isn't cordial with Team Adesanya. Why would you be? Why would you be cordial with the team? You had Eugene Behrman coming out like attacking him, laughing at him, sneering at him. He doesn't understand the UFC, man. He doesn't understand beasts like Adesanya, Volkanovski and Kai Kara France. These guys go into fights injured. Where are all them three guys now? Alright, yeah. Have you? And here you have the quote from Behrman on Submission Radio. The problem is for Du Plessis is if you don't step up and take these fights, you go into the pool. And that's a fact. And yeah, it's a bad injury. So what? You've taken your shot for granted. You don't know the UFC. You don't know what they do. You don't know how they twist and turn things. Never feel comfortable with where you are. There's something in front of you. You have to be working for it your whole life. Don't think for a minute that they can't just be taken away from you like that. And he had it. And he let it slip. Dricus comes back with this little tweet the other day, sinking Behrman and Adesanya and all the haters. What can I say? A fumble has never looked this good. Brilliant. Love to see it. Can you imagine the little one-liner of a tweet that he'll do if he beats Sean Strickland? How do we feel about him fighting Sean Strickland? It's an interesting one, isn't it? I see a lot of haters talking online about Dricus Du Plessis saying the guy who lost to Darren Till in the first round is going to beat Sean Strickland, who beat the best ever Israel Adesanya. And they're talking about Derek Brunson nearly beat this guy. And it's not just randomers online. It's the likes of your bloody elbows, shills like that, talking about Darren Till beating him and Derek Brunson beating him. And you think this is the guy who's going to beat Sean Strickland, and you go into the comment section and everyone is just posting up clips of him destroying Robert Whittaker, and they're like, why don't you use this picture when talking about Dricus Du Plessis when he pucked the head off Robert Whittaker? It's all about bending narratives, but Dricus isn't buying into it. He's absolutely loving it. He's smashing Eugene Behrman. He's smashing Israel Adesanya. Hopefully he's the new champion, and hopefully we get more of these one-liners on Twitter, shouting out and shooting down punks that wanted to come at you when you were injured. You love to see it. Let me know your thoughts on all this down below. Hit like, subscribe, share. I appreciate you. Cheers.